Scruff dog ain't got no theme song. Scruff dog ain't got no theme song. Watch this shit get hit by copyright infringement. Does this sound familiar to anybody? Scruff dog got no theme song. Mavis got no theme song. Waka waka wow. Assuming audio works. Yeah. What's up, everybody? How are you today? How is everyone? How are you? How is your world? I am Scruff Dog. Welcome to the Mavis and Scruff Dog Show. If you're new here, I usually BS for about 10 minutes with toast, cheers, updates, and news, and then I'll get into the game, which you can see right there. Let's begin. Welcome. Early crew is here. Joe Russ, Gas Masher, Franco Walker, Phil in the kitchen. Liz Edwards, Queen of Fire, is here. Welcome. Let's see, Mr. Egg Cake, he's been here for a while. They've been here for a while. Lock Watcher, welcome. And if anyone else that's watching, if you're new here, welcome. I do streams every once in a while, usually video games, tearing electrical shit apart, or flying a drone where you are the drone. So, I guess let's start off with our first toast. So, let's do, I'll let everybody grab their stuff. I don't know how the latency is here. Let's see, 5, 4, 3, 2, that's about 3 seconds out. Alright, so, let's do a cheers. How is your beard behind the t-shirt? That's weird. No, I think it just stops just there. It's good effect there. Nice catch. But cheers. We'll do our toast, whatever. Wow, look at my nerves. Got too many industrial fucking inhalants. So, cheers to good people doing good things, bad people not doing bad things, people we miss, people that are gone, and the people we may eventually meet again. I don't know. I'm kind of making shit up as I go. You know how that goes. Toast, cheers. Slava Ukraini. There we go. Alright. So today's mission will be to, at the very least, get Valentina off the moon. I've been practicing and learning stuff, even so much as this morning. Today we are having our usual mocha coffee with a little bit of dark chocolate in there. Regular almond milk creamer. Let's see. News. First we'll start with things related to last week. That dude Joe from the plant on the four-wheeler, he did actually subscribe. If you're watching, what's up, Joe? Lockwatcher, sorry. Franco Walker, I figured out why I thought I saw you on Carnass's stream the other week. When I was watching the Clive stream on Saturday, apparently one of the last things that my Fire TV saw in chat was you saying goodbye. Talk to everyone later, however you do it, with the little heart at the end. So as soon as I fired up Carnass's stream, apparently it put the last thing it saw on a different stream on. Because I logged onto a NASA spaceflight stream, and there was something from someone else that I recognized directly from the Clive stream the night before. So it's the Fire TV holding on to the last message or two in live chat, which is weird. So, hey, what's up, Abrit? Dude, I've seen Scott Manley break physics in this game. I just break stuff. It's a little better after the bugs, but I did realize on my personal, like my practice campaign, the rocket I used there, most people complain if they get 100 to 200 parts on their rockets, they start having bugs and glitches, and sometimes they'll just like break and literally just fall into the floor and you can't use the parts anymore. Well, my personal campaign rocket has 496 parts on it, and it still works, so I'm impressed. But Franco, that's what happened with the live chat thing, so mystery solved. I was, basically April Fooled, a week early even. Let's see, what else we got? We do have a couple other things. I went back and I looked at some of the chat, well, all of the chat from last week, to try and catch questions about Kerbal. So, I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago to catch questions. Lockwatcher had asked, can you place satellites? Yes, I've actually just started that in my, I call it my practice campaign. I don't have actual satellites, but I took my ship, which has multiple stages, and just to help with fast forwarding the solar system with the warp speed, I put satellites. I have one ship rotating rotating Kerbal, one rotating the Mun, and one with a solar orbit that's close to Duna. So now I can click in and out and do my fast forwards, and maybe one day I'll use them for something. So yes, you can place satellites, abandoned ships, and all that. And what you do is, if you want to keep them there, instead of hitting revert, like to VAB or revert to launch, you would just do like recover vehicle, or just go in the menu below that and just go straight to like the vehicle launch building. And then from there you can either build fresh, or if you have vehicles saved, you can load those up, which is still kind of weird too, because you can't name ships quite correctly yet. Alright, there's that. Joe Russ, do I really need to see, like, is there a difference playing this game between 4K and 1080 when I mentioned I'm playing at 4K? Not really, no. There isn't with visually. Operationally, it's different, because when the monitor switches resolutions from 4K on desktop to like 1080 on any game, whether Minecraft or this game or Fallout, it jarringly resets all three monitors. And then like Windows, since it's actually shutting down the three monitors and restarting them, like all your windows get shuffled, and if you're in the middle of a live stream, like OBS goes over here, your monitor's here, the game will minimize over there, and it gets crazy. But if you just leave it at its native resolution, nothing turns on and off, and it's easy to bounce in and out of Windows to like do OBS stuff or, whatever you need to do. So visually, now there's no difference. It's just operationally, it's even just playing regularly without a stream, it's so much better just not having that. It's very jarring. It's like, almost seizure warning. Let's see, I think I answered all the other questions. Oh, the lander legs we used, and big chunky lander legs, I found out they're heavily bugged, but that's why they probably kept blowing apart on us when we were trying to reload. But I'm going to keep using them because they usually work for me. Yeah, shouting at the screen helps if anything goes wrong. Yes, Windows. Joe Russ says, yes, Windows does a shoddy job of it. Yeah, that's why I play all my games in windowed mode. Yeah, I just prefer full screen. Alright, and now, like, the quote-unquote big news before we, do our little toast, or our cheers, or whatever, and move on to the game. So as you see in the specs, I'm running an i7-10700K with all cores at 5.1 gigahertz. If you don't know how Intel Boost technology works, for this particular 10th gen i7, as you need more power, it scales up the processors, but not all of them. It actually, as you need more, of the 8 cores, as you need more power, it'll scale these up a little bit, then these up a little bit, then these up, kind of like a cell phone signal chart, as it just builds up the 8 cores. Like, you never get all 8 cores at 5.1 gigahertz. That's how my 10th gen i7 works. So I figured just for kicks, I'd see what else the motherboard supported. And it does support 11th gen up to like an i9. So I started looking around. I figured, you know what? If it'll support up to an 11th gen Intel, 11th gens are now, like, you don't really find them in stores anymore because 4th gen's coming out. And I figured since supplies maybe, you know, start to get lacking, and I don't want to have to buy something used, I figured I'd go see what I could put in the motherboard to make it a little bit better, to give me another 3, 4, 5 years, as long as the cost was reasonable. So I looked around and updated all the motherboard drivers, and I updated the BIOS, various firmwares, even the graphics card. And sitting in my Amazon locker right now is an i9 11900K that I will be running at least 5.3 megahertz on all 8 cores. Like, I have my 10700K running at 5.1 all the time, all 8 cores all the time. I'm going to do the same to the i9, although apparently it does that automatically, but I'm going to hold it. Instead of having it do its thing, I'm going to hold it high. That way there's no chance of lag if, you know, the processor spike hits or, you know, something heavy happens. So by the next time we do a stream, I'll have a processor that rates 20 to 25% better than my previous processor. So we'll have a little upgrade going. And hopefully that'll help, and hopefully a second patch will be coming out for the game, which will help a little bit more. As I was trying to play and stream on Discord last night, and it was not having it. Like, I had so many problems. I used almost 3 times as much fuel to get the Drez as I probably normally would have, because the physics would just lock and everything would go crazy. Alright, now we'll do the toast, and then we will get into the game. So, this is Cool Mix, which I believe is just the summer version of candy cane, because it tastes the same. And it tastes like a straight up white and red stripe, I guess I'll say American candy cane, because I know sugar and shit and flavors are all different across the country. But, here we go. So, let's try to help ourselves out for the next couple hours. Cheers to the Kraken. May you be asleep as we explore this fine Sunday. It's kind of windy out. I wouldn't have been able to do a drone stream anyway. So, toast. Oh, and the other thing I did with the game, I turned the music up to like 5%. So you might hear it and might not, but just to give a little ambiance in the background. Because I have noticed when I'm watching KSP2 streams, if they have the music turned up a little bit, it does make it a little more relaxing. Plus, the game really does have a fantastic soundtrack and audio library. Like, the sound guy is fucking beautiful. Just in case you didn't know, I think it's every single rocket either is now or will have all real rocket sounds. So when you hear this thing launching, you're hearing an actual rocket. Alright, let's go bug the Kraken. Let's see. Where is it? Center fold. No, it's not that one. Nope, not that one. There it is. Alright, swipe. Yoink. Whee! Alright, let's, can you actually see the mouse? Oh, you can, okay. I wasn't sure, because, like, Discord doesn't pick up the mouse a lot of times when you're doing games. Why does this... Did this just get real jittery? Let me do this. Kinda. Ugh. Alright. That's not good. We're starting off jittery and we haven't even opened the game yet. Well, OBS is. I don't... Seems like it's broadcasting okay, but OBS itself is getting real jittery. I guess we'll see what happens. Let me go ahead and shrink the chat screen down on my other computer a little bit so I can... Ugh, that looks rough. Alright, guess we'll see what happens. Okay, YouTube autosave 3. It doesn't seem too bad. It's definitely not my internet. Like, the internet's good. I actually had to reboot the entire network a couple days ago when my media server just decided it didn't want to connect to the... Well, I'm sorry, when my media server decided it only kind of wanted to connect to the internet. I think there was a problem with ExpressVPN, but I don't know. What the fuck was that? Alright, well, there's a bug. Pictures aren't loading. Oh, yeah, and also, apparently YouTubers are discovering that, save games are saving some of the bugs. So I cannot guarantee we will be able to keep this universe as we patch on through, but we'll do our best, and if we got to start over, it just means we'll be able to get more done quicker, because I'll have an idea what we're doing. Alright. Well, let's see what we got here. We have a little bit of fuel, probably not enough. Worst comes to worst, if we have to, we'll drop the lower end, we'll put these guys in guys and gals in lunar orbit and rescue them at a future flight. Maybe the next one, because we do have work to do to our rockets. For one thing, we need to add a 4th foot. Because if you do the math, like, how you can kind of do it like here. Like, you can see that 3rd foot right there? That's our landing. Like, our landing pad, our zone, is that triangle. But I've had a foot there and a foot there. It literally doubles your landing pad stability. And my thought here was, well, you know, 3 legs, a tripod will always sit flat. Which is true, but 4 legs will sit flat when they have suspension, which I didn't even think about it when I built the rocket. So since these have suspension, I'm actually going to lower them down to help too, so I don't have to run them so stiff and bounce off the rocket. Maybe that'll help in our bounciness. So, do not destroy the universe, please. I will do my best, Lockwatcher. But I cannot guarantee that. So, let's see. Where are we at here? What are we doing? Oh, there's so much debris floating already. Alright. Well, let's, I'll leave... Actually, no, we'll leave that unlocked, because as soon as I take off, I need to go into orbit. It looks like we're if I can read this right, I would say that we are leaning south. Am I reading this right? If you could confirm, that would be great. Because if that was the case, then this is south is that way, north is behind us, and I'm going to want to take off east, so I'd want to launch and go left, or launch and go right. It seems to be I don't know if all the planets orbit that way, but if you follow the orbit of the planet or the celestial body you're orbiting, you're not going against the gravity of it, and you actually get a good orbit. But I'm pretty sure that means we're facing... See, but that says north. I really need to figure this out. I can't wait till they get the tutorials going. Or I'm just going to have to watch some KSP1, like, detailed tutorials. Alright, we'll just assume that that's what that means. And we'll take off, pull in our landing gear, and go for... what here? I actually have some stuff pulled up on the computer. Safe minimum orbit on MUN is 4 to 5 kilometers. And I guess that would be, yeah, that would be over sea level. So, like, as soon as I take off, just turn and we are orbiting. We can save some delta V because we don't have a lot. Alright, so let's see. I don't even know that. Oh, hold on. Let me make sure I don't have throttle limited on this engine from landing. And I do. Okay. Let's do that. Good. Glad I remembered that. Oh, it loaded their pictures. Okay. Or it got brighter. I don't know. Apparently, eventually you'll, or either you can now, or eventually you'll be able to put like dome lights in the cockpit. Because apparently a future part of the game is actually using cockpit controls. So that's cool. Alright, enough bullshitting. Let's see what we can break. Oh, why is this on Top Chat, you dumb mother? There we go. Alright. Let's see. Full throttle, gear, and turn. Do I even need full throttle? I don't. How does it roll with grade? Apoapsis. I'm learning on takeoff to pay attention to the apoapsis in the bottom left orbital info, because that like actually tells you when to stop and not just trying to guess like I do. Alright, there's 5200. So now when I reach that apoapsis in, I don't know if you can see it, but like 36 seconds, I can do another prograde burn. And that will even our orbit out at 5,000 meters with plenty of delta V. And we will have a good chance of getting home. I will do my best to land as close as possible to the Kerbal Space Station, but I cannot guarantee that it will happen. But we will try our asses. I'll tell you what. Alright, so now we pay attention to the periapsis in the lower left. Like, I'm learning to do a lot of stuff without having to use the maneuver thing, which saves a little bit of time, makes things a little bit easier. It's kind of nice. That, and I just like learning. Ooh, there we go. Oh, good, we're doing that again. That seems like alright. Yeah, I think that view bug is a kind of stuck in the save game. I'm not positive, but I believe so. Other things I have learned. Avoid using RCS unless you really need to, because as you're doing maneuvers, if RCS is firing, like while you're trying to plan your maneuver, it bases it on when you started to plan it, and RCS will actually shift your orbit and shift you. Like, it doesn't seem like much, but if you're planning something like a million miles ahead of you, if your RCS goes to try and straighten you out, it changes where you're going to get. So by the time you get to your planned maneuver point, you're way off. So what I've learned is plan your maneuver point, turn RCS off because SAS doesn't change you as much. Zing around to your maneuver point, and unless it was super complicated, redo it if it looks like you've drifted too much. Otherwise, just try to get close to it before you start planning, assuming you know exactly where to put it. Sorry, there's a kitty cat running around. What? Spaz has the zoomies, and she just hissed at Ronnie, and Ronnie's like laying there asleep. He's looking at her like, what's your problem? Anyway, alright, we are in orbit. Oh, yeah, so, yeah, don't use RCS unless you really have to, because it will kind of screw up your maneuver points. But for basic stuff like this, I'm finding that, that just using, that's weird, that sucks. We can zoom out on this one, okay. Looks like the stream's catching up. OBS is still weird, but I guess OBS is smart enough to sacrifice itself. Even though, let's see, GPU's at 75, VRAM's at 93%. I mean, the computer's always running at 5.1 gigahertz, but it's at 72. 15% CPU usage. Where is my GPU usage? That's weird. I don't know. It only uses like 40 to 50% of the GPU. So I guess OBS is just keeping it chill. Interrupt, scuff dog, as long as you don't miss the planet. Yeah, oh, well, you know, especially in this kind of orbit. I obviously did not work that out the way I thought I would. Alright, still learning that part. Alright, let's see. Their best launch is at periapsis. If you make a maneuver at periapsis, that's good for slingshotting you out, whereas apoapsis is good for rounding your orbit or widening it. Periapsis will stretch it out, apoapsis will widen it. That's what she said. But our periapsis is in the wrong place. So what we're going to do is at our apoapsis, we're going to fire prograde and increase our periapsis to the point where it's kind of over here to help us launch out. We want that to twist a little bit further around. So let's time warp to here. This is what I'm thinking anyway. I could be completely wrong, but this is going to take all day. Where is my periapsis? Is it 44? Like, we really can't speed this up any. Alright, well, I guess we're going to take a moment, because we're so close that we can't get a great time warp, and I don't want to flip out to something else and flip back in and lose our... Oh, we are zinging now. That's cool to be in this low to the ground. You actually get this a fairly good perspective of speed. The dynamic lighting in this game is pretty freaking good too. I cannot wait till they optimize it and get... Yeah, you can see the texture. I guess you can kind of see the textures are loading a little weird, but that's all coming through optimization soon, and that'll be cool. Alright, we have no monopropellant, that's fine. Let's see where we're at. Are you serious? It's the only lights I put on this? Alright, well, we can kind of see where we're at. Let's see what we're doing here. You know what? I think the extra fuel we would spend in straightening this orbit out, we can probably just spend on a little extra burn to get out there. That way we're not sitting here forever. God, this is going to be weird. God, I may have to correct the orbit. Jeez. Oh, okay, there we go. Actually, no, we may be in an okay spot. Hold on, let me back that ass up. I set this as target. And can I click that? Yes. Ooh, easy killer. What was that? Okay, no, we're not going to crash. Okay, we need to come out more. This may not be as easy as I thought it was. Oh, oh. That's pretty close. That's a decent amount of fuel. Let's see here. I want to tuck that in. Oop. Just had it. Baby steps, baby. Oh. Did I just have it? Oh no, it just lit up a whole bunch of other shit as well. Okay, well, let's get it back to close. I'll try not to bore you by over tweaking this, but I think that'll be good. We can do a correction burn at periapsis to pop in. I guess that should be pretty okay. That'll put us at a relatively decent orbit as well. What if we do Is this going to help? Ooh, not at all. How much fuel is that adding? Not much. Kind of flatten our orbit out just to help us a little bit. And it's not really costing much fuel. Cool. Alright. Can I do anything else that would help? Hold on, let me light that up. Nope. Alright, we are pretty much at the sweet spot. So let's face our aim. We have 13 minutes. Obviously, we're not going to wait that long. Don't go in there. It's dark. Sorry, Bugs Bunny reference. Alright, we are aimed properly. Let's go ahead, and I've been using the warp to maneuver button lately because my manual warp to try and save time usually ends up with me being about 1,000,000 miles past my maneuver mode. So we'll do it the quote-unquote right way. It's just, I wish they would do something better with time warp. Like, I have, 11 minutes to go. I'd love to get like a 10x, 20, the 50 right there. So this will be a moment. I think there is a medication for, Blackwatcher says, I think there is a medication for both periapsis and apoapsis. At least it can stop the itch. That I heard there is, yes, I heard there is. I think there's a comb they offer for it as well. Scruff Dog, play some Tetris, says Joe Russ. It's kind of like this. You almost want to have like Minesweeper loaded in the background so you can pop it up in the middle. God, that may almost happen, but I would have to set that up. Careful, Joe Russ, you're giving me ideas. And I was reading, like they were saying, you should never try to go like directly for it, like quote unquote go for it when you're doing a transfer window to like another celestial body. They said one of the most important burns you can do is that mid-course correction. At your periapsis, which is usually going to be at your periapsis towards your target. I have found that to be generally true. It's just when the physics bugs kick in, you end up doing 5, 6 course corrections that all cost the same amount. And it's just like, damn. But I've also started doing RCS course corrections. Because if you're on the other side of the solar system, if you move 2 inches to the left, you move like 30,000 kilometers to the left, a year later. So that helps in tweaking too. But that's when you don't have a maneuver node lit up. You're just following your blue line, like your current course. You can actually tweak it out a little bit. Well, I may be able to show you that as we're heading towards Kerbal. Oh, there should be a mod to load program into the capsule screen, like in MS Flight Sim. I think there is. Like, there is a fairly significant amount of mods for this already. I'm just not... Oh, there we go. Something to look at. Just not feeling the mods just yet. Like, the game's buggy enough. I'm not trying to... Pardon me. I'm not trying to introduce more possible points of failure. Not saying that the mod guys and gals and everyone don't know what they're doing, but I'm still learning, and I've already learned in a couple situations how to fight one bug by using another bug, especially with the physics. And I don't want to have to try and learn stuff around plugins just yet. I definitely need a lot of base game knowledge before I start messing with the plugins. Kind of how I was with Fallout 4. I played through that a couple times, and now I run 167 mods, which is insane, I realize, but it works. All right, here we go. As far as I know, you should never, ever fast forward through a burn. Because as far as I can tell, it just wrecks your physics. But maybe that's something that'll be fixed later on. Well, let's see how close. Well, let's see how our physics bugs is doing today. Oh look, it's being a dick. Because we didn't go anywhere near it where it said we would. Now we're burning more fuel to try and fix it. This is what I'm talking about with these weird physics bugs. Like, all that did was trash our orbit. Alright, I go ahead and quick save now, so... Like, what the... When's the last time this saved? Auto save 2 minutes ago. I feel like that was in the middle of the burn. Let's see what autosave 2 has for us. This is what I mean. Like, yesterday I was fighting these physics. Something just blew up. Oh, good. Now we're dealing with this. Wow. Well, this is going to be a thing, huh? Oh, good grief. Alright, let's try autosave 1. You know, technically we don't need that. Because we're going to Earth on parachute and we're dropping the bottom anyway. So, that's fine. Alright, where are we? Oh, we're not even orbiting yet. Okay. Well, in that case, good enough. Now we are orbiting. Our periapsis is a little low, but it's just going to have to be that way. You know what? We're going to try to do an orbit correction burn. Right about, let's see, right about here. Let's go ahead and spend that fuel so that we can do a more standard ejection burn, I think that's what they call it. Wow, okay. This may take a couple corrections. Oh, that's a lot. If we change it, it's not. Alright. Where's our periapsis right here at 4,000 feet. That's going to stay. I don't know if we do that on this side. Oop. Let's see here if this will work any better. A little bit. Grab the thing. There we go. That's a little better. Yeah, I don't know that we're going to have enough fuel to get home if we do that burn. Crap. Alright, screw it. We're going home. We're going to try to do it the hard way. Alright. Need more practice. Alright, let's just slingshot ourselves out. And see what we can do here. See, all the action is happening here. Let's see if we can keep a burn. Ooh. Hold on. Oop. Yay, we can get close. Let's light that up. This one. keep going the wrong way. Okay. There. All right. 425. Not bad. Not bad. Okay. This is really touchy. Okay. Puts us up high orbit. Let's see if we can pull it down. Wow. That did not have the desired effect. And I just crashed. I bet you were all watching me. I don't know. Okay. Why did I crash? I must have been too close, or I hit a mountain. Alright, back to this. Okay, auto-save, was it 1? That worked. We're just taking off. Yes. Alright. Now we're in a weird view thing. Let's go prograde. And burn. Cool. So let's a little bit higher. Alright. Now let's go back to prograde. Periapsis is over 5,000, so we shouldn't sink or whatever the hell happened there. Are we good? I think we're good. Alright. Good lord. Okay, we're still in a crap orbit. That's fine. We'll work with it. Let's see, we're going to targets. Yeah. Oh, crap. Time. Maneuver. Okay. Do my best not to bore you while and I can't hear the music. That's weird. Oh, as soon as I say that, it starts to like kick up a little bit. That's funny. Alright. Move. Alright. This is hard to do. You gotta do it with like 2 different fingers here. Alright, what's that do for us? It's not a bad burn, if it actually works this time. It's only 200. What can I do to tighten that up? Okay, bring that back a little bit. What's this gonna do? Anything good, bad? Seems like that's helping a little bit. Just giving us a much weirder orbit. I don't think the blue's gonna do much. Oh yeah, a little bit. It's not really costing us much fuel to get a little closer. Just my issue, it seems like the more complicated of a burn you do, the more likely it is to fail. I was just gonna say, this is about to get weird. Alright, let's see if we can do that. Now we... Oh, oh yeah, I put it in a slightly higher orbit so we can fast forward a little more efficiently. No. I gotta go a little farther away. Hopefully nothing explodes for no reason again. Like, see how that maneuver node is a slightly different spot? It's not a big deal, because it's not huge for us right now. But if I had RCS thrusters on, like, we could be, like, way off. But that's still in a decent spot. And this is only a 17-second burn, so we're not going to be here forever. That's cool. I am... Oh, yeah, we don't even have RCS thrusters. There's no point in turning them on. I'll leave the lights off so we don't lose electricity. Let's see, get a little closer here. Let's see, everything should be ready to go. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Some berry Skittles in the vape, one of my vapes. The other vape. Yeah, we definitely need some assistance from Scotty. Oh yeah, and loading saves. Oh my god. Yeah, it is definitely a bunch of bullshit sometimes. See, my concern here is it looks like we just may not be able to hold control. Like, it's not like I just shoved us into the ground. I guess we're gonna have to do this shit manually because it's not... Oh, where's that put it? How far away is that put it? Actually, well, I know that's our maneuver node, not our actual... Autosave. 4 minutes ago. Let's see what happens with that one. If not, we'll go back to 1 again. So it may just be that we don't have enough reaction wheels on this craft and it's not super controllable. I'll try something here. Let's do that. I don't know if that's going to help us slightly with our orbit. We have all our landing legs this time. Neat. Okay. Don't need that. So, if I do a burn here, a manual burn. That'll put our periapsis right there. That should help us slingshot out for almost no fuel. Alright. And that is just a prograde burn. Where am I? I'm over there. Alright. Since maneuver nodes aren't working, we'll use them as guidance. We're not going to be able to follow them, I don't think. And I think that's just because I may not have enough control of the ship. So let's get to the point, and then we'll just leave it at prograde and fire. See if we can keep an eye on what it's doing. And I'm not going to give it full throttle. I think I'm just going to kind of goose it up and see what see if this thing starts wobbling and stuff again. Okay, not bad. That did what we wanted it to. So, we're going to have to circle around so I can get back around to the periapsis. So let's just go ahead and get it past the apoapsis. That way it's not varying so much by the time we get here. I feel like the first manual burn we should do is basically just get out of the moon. So, if we do a simple pro-grade burn here, what does that do for us out here? That gets us there. What if we move this around? Did I just see an intercept? No, okay. They're coming back, yeah. Huh. Alright. Doesn't seem to be. Oh, wait. Oop. Alright. That'll get us close. That's just a pro-grade burn. And we'll do that manually. We'll just use the burn timer as guidance. Seems to be the easiest way to do it, because the maneuvers just aren't holding for some reason. And again, I'll ease into the throttle. That might be part of the problem. Don't know. But we'll see what happens this time. You know, as you can see, I tell it to hold prograde. It's spinning. But I feel like that's like I don't know if that's a bug or a feature. $33 prograde burn, and we'll do the burn on the map screen so I can see what's up. Lockwatcher says, games like this are very odd. They feel like there should be a score, like how much it costs to blow up a rocket. And the prices of assembly. Yeah, that is actually in, as Joe Russ says, that's in KSP1. Whole story research, unlocking trees, and almost like an achievement tree. Or, you know, an ability tree in like Skyrim or whatever. Okay. I feel like that was a bit of an overburn. That's okay. That'll get us out. So if we hit that periapsis, see if we can use that to spin us into It's not a horrible amount of burn either. Look at that. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. What are we at here? I want to get below 500 if possible. Can we keep this under 500? Just so I have a little bit to get into orbit if this doesn't just put me there. That's pretty tight. I think we can work with that. That's just a simple prograde burn. That'll burn about half our fuel. And hopefully there'll be enough. Yeah, once we get out and get the burn done, we'll see if I'm going to have to crash directly into Kerbin or if I can just get us into an orbit and then land us properly. Alright, so prograde burn, let's go and spin her around. Let's go back here so we can actually make sure it spins, because it doesn't always do that. It's a bit crappy when you can't tell if it's a bug or a feature, yeah. And part of that is because I never played KSP1. Up until like about a year ago, I thought KSP was just like build derpy rockets, see what happens, yada yada, ooh. But then I actually looked into it and I went, holy shit, it actually uses like good physics and like all that stuff. So then I saw 2 was coming out, so I didn't want to spend like 40-50 bucks on a game that I was only going to play for a year. But now I kind of feel like I should have, so I could have learned a little more, but that's fine. I'll sort it out. Alright, let's warp to our maneuver point. That was weird. Okay. So I don't know, for some reason that like really threw me off. I forgot we were getting that far from the mun. But it's looking good. So far we have 4 people happy. Actually, the character, Bardorf, I said I always want him on a mission because I know a buddy with a similar name. His father actually retired. His last day was Friday. Had the same job, like one job, entire life, basically, at McCall handling and then Eastern Lift. Started when he was like, I think it was 12 with a supermarket, doing shelves real quick, and then they went right into forklift industry. He's going to Ocean City. So that was cool. Got to see him and his son, which is my buddy. He came up from North Carolina. BS'd for a little bit. Had a decent little retirement party thing. It was pretty cool. Like in the middle of the workday, that's always cool. Where is the Kerbal? Or Kerbin? So I really need to learn all the Kerb names. So that's Kerbin, Kerbal's the sun, Kerbin's the earth. Come on, almost there. Yoink! Nice. This works a lot better when you just kind of know how to do it. Alright, let's go ahead and save. By all means, in chat, feel free to full caps lock and scream quick save or whatever if I forget to save at any critical points. Just now saved. Let's see, make sure the rocket is still in one piece. We have about 500 delta V. Let's see if that's enough to make an orbit, or if we're just going to spin it right into the surface. Create a maneuver point, retrograde, simple retrograde burn. Can I spend like half of this? And then have, let's see, if we move this around, what kind of orbit can we achieve? Okay. I think that's just a regular, we'll just do it like, actually, I feel like a periapsis is really low. Okay, let's see. Obviously that's too low. That'll put us at, that's good. Now keep us kind of close over to there. That'll we'll be able to pop right into a crash velocity fairly easy. It's not perfect, but I think we can work with that. Alright, let's go back. We'll leave that up. This is a simple retrograde, so we will stay retro. I clicked Parts Manager. Oh, and just if you don't know, just so you know, when I say retrograde, it literally means pointing in the direction you're not going. Or like pointing backwards. Like if you're moving this way, you're pointing behind you. If you're going prograde, you're always pointing in the direction you're going. As opposed to like, what is it, radial in and out, or normal, anti-normal. That's, actually, I don't really know what those are. I just know that that's kind of like up and down. Prograde and retrograde are basically in and out. And radial in and radial out are kind of left to right. Or, yeah. Like green's in and out, blue's left to right, and purple's kind of up and down. As I understand it. Alright, Franco. It's all good. We'll be here. Alright. Let's see. Simple prograde burn in 4 hours. Let's go ahead and warp to that. Whee! Yoink! Have some coffee. Let this spin around. I find watching it spin into position, I feel a little more secure that it actually gets there than as opposed to staring at the positionometer and hoping that you can tell when it stops. Oh, and before the first patch, you come into this screen with sometimes freeze physics on the rocket as well, which didn't help at all. Let's go ahead and fast forward to it a little bit. Alright. 7-second burn to correct our orbit. And then we'll see where that puts us, and we'll see what we got to do to possibly land. I'd at least like to land on land. I'm not sure. I haven't built any boats yet, so I don't know how their boat technology is. But like, at least we can walk if we land on land. That'll work. Tighten that up a little bit. Okay. Not a bad little orbit. Quick save. And let's see. Oh yeah, we can set this as a target. No, I thought we could. Oh no, you can't. That's right. I thought you could set. I think the guys that can set that as a target are doing a mod. I mean, we'll just set that as a target. Focus on it, and let's see what a periapsis burn will do us at retrograde. I guess we'll just go up to 270 delta V. I hope we don't have to crash in the dark. See, worst comes to worst, if I can't quite get there, I can try to change the orbit just to push the periapsis into the atmosphere and just, you know, force a speed break. But that's not good. Let's see here. I gotta move. Come on. Oh. Oh, good. We can crash in the daytime. Nobody likes crashing in the night. Oh, that's not bad at all. Okay. I don't think it's going to do anything for helping us get to the station, but we'll at least be able to get home. Let's see. But I might be able to time it. Let's see where that puts the station if we... fast forward. Alright, let's do a couple orbits. We'll get the station a little closer to where we want it to be. Aloha Edra. No idea. That may put us close-ish. Hopefully we'll at least land on land. Oh, that's going to be close. That's going to put us, if we miss, we're going straight into the water. Alright, let's do another rotation and we'll aim for the fat part of the planet. Yeah, that's not going to be up high enough. Whee! That's a lot of land. Let's see where that is once we warp around. Oh, I mean, all cool and like aiming for the land and not the water. Aloha Edra. We're fucked. Yeah, that's pretty close. Alright, we will land on land. Oh, and since I've orbited, it thinks that we screwed the burn up, so let's just click it. We might as well tweak it. Not much to tweak. That kind of gives us a little more of a straight down trajectory. And 9 minutes to go. And this is a pro-grade burn, simple pro-grade. Let's make sure we are pro-graded. Where's the big blue thing? There it is. Alright, let's warp to the burn. Didn't Apple more or less? It's a feature. Self-battery degradation. I'm lying to you. It's a feature. That's so candy caney. And just burn it till it's empty. Close enough. Oh, it's because I did a big blast, so I sent the thing spinning. Luckily I didn't screw us up though. Hello, Earth, or Kerbin. Getting there. Alright, so we have no fuel left, so we might as well get rid of this. Okay, are we ready, people? I'm going to hit the space bar on purpose. Yes. Later. That coupler will likely fall off. Oh, yeah, you can see 0. The coupler is detached, but they get sticky. So that is... oh, where is that going? Is that actually going to crash? Yes, that will also crash. Less debris. Alright, turn on SAS. Let's get this thing... Prograde. There's no thermals or much drag resistance in the game yet. So that's the other thing I've been doing, is I learned how to use the fine tuning when you're putting stuff together to tuck stuff in, because aerodynamics is coming soon, like wind drag, and so I think the thermal re-entry and exiting is, I think, going to be, I think they said it's probably in 3 or 4 patches from now, but drag is coming soon. All right, let's fast forward to here. There we go. Retro, don't hit the thing. If I had RC, if I had any mono propellant left, we could, well, for one thing, we could get away from that. I don't think that's going to be a problem now. If we had thermal dynamics going on, yeah, it would be blown away as we approach the atmosphere, but we don't have to worry about that. Let's get a little closer. We're going to ease it in because when physics freezes, sometimes it's difficult to get the ship back to like pro or retrograde if you're too far into the atmosphere. It doesn't want to spin back. Are we going to hit land? I'm a little concerned now. I think we're heading into the drink. Oh no, the rotation should get us pretty close. Alright. Dink. Oh no, yeah, we'll be good, we'll be good. Alright. You don't need a headphone socket. Buy our $100 wireless earbuds or you'll lose. Or battery will degrade in a year, yeah. Oh, Apple. I got personal beef with Apple. When I was 11, I was told that the Apple IIc Plus and that the Apple II line was going to be the bomb, that it was going places. 3 months after my parents bought it for me for Christmas, an Apple IIc Plus. It's like 2 or 3 months later, they discontinued the Apple IIc line for the Macintosh, the OG Macintosh. What was that, the Apple IIg Mac, if I'm not mistaken? That pissed me off, because almost immediately they stopped all development for the Apple II series. And that's when it became basically an educational only kind of thing. Wow, that is like right above us. That sucks. But yeah, so I've held a grudge against Apple since I was a child. That's why I still try to avoid their products at all costs. Like, you assholes. Alright, we're doing alright. Looks like we're going to hit land. Not necessarily where we want to be. I do not still have it. I know where it last was. I don't know if that person still owns that property, but I'm not that worried about it. I got enough junk as it is. Alright. Don't have to worry about landing legs, at least. Just slightly concerned about that thing. And since there's no aerodynamics, I can't, like, shake it loose by, like, doing the aerodynamic wiggle thing. So it's just gonna bounce off of us when I hit the chutes, I guess. Oh, sweet. Okay, so there is a little bit of atmosphere going on. Alright, cool. Bye! You can hear it. Hold on. Oh, it's safe to deploy. I've been checking that out too, like to tell when you can deploy stuffs. Because I noticed a couple times I'll go into deploy shoots and you just go whee! I was like, okay. But then I found here that it can actually tell you when it is safe to deploy your shoots. Looks like everything's safe. I'll wait for the main shoot. Since it's not going to pop until we're, I guess, what? I think it's about 800 meters. Space bar. So this will be our first successful mission. And I'm leaving all the space junk. I'm just going to return. Ooh. I don't know if, I guess we'll just build something fresh if I didn't save the workspace, which is probably a good idea anyway, honestly. Alright. Oh, look, I could have 4 nipples. Alright, everybody. As long as we don't land in, like, you know, a sandworm doesn't come up and eat us, I think we'll be alright. They seem happy. I like how they've introduced a slightly different tone of green people. That's cool. It's like classic Kerbins and, like, new Kerbinians. Can we get up in this? Yeah, sometimes I've noticed, sometimes, like, you can't see them in the cockpit. Sometimes you can. I probably should have waited to pop the chutes. At least you don't have to worry about crazy physics. Change that to ground level so we can actually see. Because I would prefer our touchdown, our initial YouTube Kerbal genocide touchdown to be live. And with a hit from the vape. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Cheers, everybody, to a successful mission. Kraken be damned. Alright. Now let's see. If I'm remembering how to do this right. Recover the vessel. Well done. Vessel launched, vessel landed, vessel yeah, landed twice. I love that. When you bounce, it's 2 separate landings. Mission time, 1 hour and 26 minutes. Not quite. Highest altitude really high. Ground distance covered, 1 meter. Alright. Highest GeForce, 713 Gs. Alright. Alright, so let's close that. We did well. Congratulations, everyone. So, the funny thing is that was probably overall the simplest successful mission I've had so far. Good grief. Alright, let's go to the vehicle assembly building. And then we will save once we're there. Alright. Quick save. Did I actually save any workspace? Yeah, there's mine. There's, you can't load workspaces from other campaigns as far as I know, which is fine. I think we're going to start from scratch because we got a lot of changes to make from what I've learned. You know what, first, we need to make a decision for those of you who are still here. I need to create a poll. Engage with your audience. Start a poll. Where's my other keyboard? There it is. Oh, turn it on. That would help. Let's see. There's that. Oh, yep. That. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. While we're messing with our new design, there's your poll. Feel free to participate. Red or purple. One means, one is a practice run. One is, well, you know what? Probably both of them mean certain death, but we'll see. Either way, we need a big rocket and a small rocket, or just a small rocket on top of a big rocket. How do we want to do this? Because small rockets don't have a hell of a lot of delta V to them. That's why I have on my other one, I have like these ridiculous rocket. It's odd. Alright, so let's start with a... How many people does this seat? Crew required, but what does it actually seat? That has RCS thrusters built in. That's kind of convenient. How big is this? Cool. Like, how many Kerbals can you fit in it? That's a 3-person Kerbal. That's good, actually. You know what? We can work with that. This will be our base. Where is the top? Oh, that's the top. So the first thing we need to do is select it and rotate it. Not that way. That way. So now when we take off, we are doing a roll back to fall into Earth's orbit at 90 degrees, you know, following the equator. Alright. Let's see, we want to use hydrogen this time. Hydrogen is apparently like thrust to weight ratio and fuel and all that. Hydrogen is apparently really good for deep space travel. So we need this to be able to land. Pardon me. So this thing's going to need a body. Let's build something a little different than what I normally do. I'm going to try a weird lander kind of thing. I don't know. Let's get crazy. Let's get crazy. Hey, you know what? Let's do a small. And then let's do a 4th thing. Okay. Can we just attach? Yep, there we go. It's a little wonky. Oh, there we go. Can we get that level? Actually, just below it. Nice. Okay. And what do I want for engines on this weird thing here? Actually, you know what? Why don't we do a central engine? We can do landing gear out here. Or no, we'll do 4 small engines here and the docking port in the middle. So I should pick these up. So that the docking port is accessible. And please keep in mind, I have yet to ever successfully redock 2 pieces of equipment. I am freaking terrible at it, but we're gonna try when we get the opportunity. I feel like I spun that the wrong way. Hold on. There we go. Okay, I think that's better. So let's see. We're going to want landing legs on this thing. We're going to want the let's see, the engines. Let's get the engines first. What do we want to do? I want to do shorter engines since this is more of a lander. A horribly non-aerodynamic lander. What do we have here? close enough. Let's try this one. I haven't used this one on anything yet. That is really small. Maybe not. That's a... The RAM is powerful and efficient in and out of the atmosphere. Okay, what's this one look like? It looks more feasible. But that's where my... we'll use 8 landing legs. What the hell? So let's get that nozzle just below the fuel tank. I can tweak that later, now that I know how. Alright, this is gonna be weird. Obviously we're gonna need all the struts. Not just some of them, like we're gonna need all the struts. Okay, I guess let's throw some landing gear on there. And we're gonna have to pick the capsule up. Or pick that down so we can add control in here. Actually, I'll put the reaction wheel. No, actually, I'll build up. Yeah, I'll build up. We'll get a reaction wheel in there. Probably put a small monoprop tank on the top. We have lots of options with these tops for parachutes and stuff. So let's go ahead and get our basics on here. Let's get some landing gear. Let's try not to use the buggy bastards. Do 4x4. I don't know what 8 would do. What would that do? That would be insane. That would be normal. Alright, so we're going to do landing gear on either side of the rocket. As low as we can. Let's copy that. Snap it. That's another problem I learned that was having a problem with some things. It turns out I just needed to learn how to snap. It needs to come down just a pinch. That did not help at all. That's better. Alright, let's extend these out. That one. Oh, there we go. And that way we have our clearances. And while this thing may bounce, it ain't gonna have much bounce with all them legs to it. So we may actually be able to pull off a successful freaking landing, like without looking like a basketball. All right, let's do our docking ports. What is this? A medium rocket? Boop. All right, so that's where we will be connecting. It's our landing thrusters. Maybe. We may need to add more. We'll have to sort that out. What I usually do to sort it out is see how it performs just out on the runway. Because if it can take off in Earth's atmosphere, then it can definitely take off in most of the other atmospheres. Most. Okay. We need to just move you over here. Move this back over. Let's get a... Yeah, I'm not putting anything there. Let's get a reaction wheel on top. Where is that? Is that utility? Stabilizer. Okay. That'll help us with stability. Let's get RCS in there as well. Actually, that'll be good right there. Oh, hold on. We gotta do... Nope. That's it. No, come on. Ow. Close that. Come on. There we go. Click. Why aren't you focused? Oh, it's... Hold on. Focus. There we go. Okay, you gotta focus on this thing first before you drag this crap out. Alright, let's put that right there. That'll be good enough. Is that on all four? Yeah. What's happened there? Let's quick save. Go to the... Let's put this back together. Let's see if that fixes itself on launch. Let's just go to a runway. We're just going to do a quick test of what this thing wants to do right now. And see if those landing legs sort themselves out. They don't. That's weird. Well, alright, let's see what happens if we launch it. Let's see. Oh, it did it with the thrusters too. What the hell? Ah, it's like a little camping stove. Perfect. It's like an industrial camping stove. Nice. Let's go back here. Because sometimes you get the visual glitches that don't actually break like that. But I guess this wanted to break like that. So the easy fix for that should just be setting this to 4 and just re-clicking. Okay. And now we're better. Alright, save that. Let's go check it out again. I don't know how evenly this is going to go up, but let's find out. Launch here. We should probably add some more engines. I mean, this would be fine on like the MUN, but I would like to have a little more available. Especially because we're adding more stuff to this thing. Doing. Perfect. All right. Doodly-doodly-doo-doo. Joe Ross, I'm gonna try it with, I'm gonna double the thrust. Why don't we, let me finish building it. There's no point in tuning the thrust if I don't have all my crap on it first. So let's do that first. Alright, we have a reaction wheel on there, that should help. We need parachutes, antennas, batteries, and solar cells. This is a fairly self-contained dealio. Let's see. These solar cells usually do pretty well. Slap it right on the... Will that attach to the outside of the engine? Yes, it sort of will. Okay. Let's focus on that. Ooh. And now, if we no. I gotta click that first. Okay. Now we click this. Come on. Oop. Oh, I gotta turn snap off. Okay. Okay. Turn that just a little bit. Look at that. Alright. And that should have done it to all 4, and it did. Okay, cool. Okay, let's go ahead and... Let's see. Let's tuck this in. Focus. Click. And... tuck. Nice. Alright. Like I said, aerodynamics is coming, so... I wonder if it'll let me tuck this in just... Oh, wait. We got the docking port there. but nothing else will be in the way. So we can tuck these in just a little bit to possibly help a little bit of the structural, so they're a little less likely just to fall off. We'll try like that, just a little bit of overlap. I guess ultimately it'll depend on what we put on top. Man, I kind of got to pee. We'll get there. Alright, let's see. Batteries. I want a small battery. Let's see, how much do these weigh? And how much does this weigh? That weighs a lot more. Yeah, these are all, most of your devices are pretty, like, the weight versus energy, you know, weight versus usefulness is all pretty much scaled exact. So I'll go with that medium battery. Have a little more for control for when monopropellant inevitably runs out, because everything cross fuels like insanely still. Even through couplers, like that is still a problem. So we got a battery, we got solar power. I'm not worried about a generator. Parachutes, we have RCS with stabilizers. We will add lights and ladder at the end. Communication. Where's the shift button? Range. 200, 280. Forever. And these are all gigantic though, that's any problem. So for this, for the most part, we really only need to talk to the mama ship. So let's just grab 2 of these. Generally sufficient. And we'll just tuck them in here. There we go. Snap it. Snap. I guess we'll put that close to the, actually, no, we may need heavier stuff on the bottom. Let's put that up here. Alright, we'll put it even with the top. That way it's somewhat exposed. If that matters, I don't know how that works in this game yet. Alright, so we have communication. Let's go back. We got to go back to that. Thermal. We'll build that onto that. Actually, might as well just go ahead and slap that on there now. What is that? The inflatable? That's the inflatable one. I heard that's kind of neat. It's kind of heavy though. Not that much heavy. Yeah, screw it. Let's put an inflatable one on there. That looks cool. Come here. Ooh. That's different. Alright, cool. I hear this thing like gets really, really big. Like, I think you need it for landing on Venus or something. Does he have nah, it doesn't have a detail thing yet. Which is funny, because you can see that, like, the description runs off, but you can't do anything with it. They haven't sorted that out yet. Alright. So when this thing lands back on Earth, this piece is going to need some parachutes and stuff. So, what do I want to do? I want to put extra, yeah, I'll put anything extra I can stack there. So over here, what's just, the bare minimum on that is going to be a 1 drogue and 2 chutes. Where is that? Is that utility? Yeah. So let's slap, oops. Oh. Okay, we'll put that on there for now. And where's my 2 radial? We'll get 2 radials, that's all you really need. Let's put them in a spot where it's, wow. This is kind of set up more for like a 3, so I guess we'll just put 3 on. We'll have to tuck them in. Pull it up a little higher. That kind of works. Let's go ahead and that, turn snap off, click that, and let's sync it. Not the right thing. Snap that back to Oh, no, I think I just totally screwed that up, didn't I? No, that's straight up now. Okay, turn snapback off. Ugh, grab that. Pull it in. Yeah, let's take it down a little bit. Nice. I don't know how bad that's encroaching on the cockpit, but it looks okay. And we're a little more aerodynamic. Can I turn that just a pinchy? Yes, I can. Alright. So we got 2 chutes, we got that. That's really all we're going to need on that, because all the other life support stuff will be on the weird-ass, completely ridiculously oversized lander that I tend to build. You need a visitor's timer, 3 hours and fuck off. We got about 15-20 minutes left. We'll see how far we get into building this. Alright, so that's pretty good. It's got RCS built into it. This has RCS on it. What else? Ground stuff. We're not building a vehicle yet. We'll get there. We're definitely probably going to want to put... Did it flip the thing again? I don't know why it does that. Huh. Alright, let's go back to 4. Just click. Oop. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Alright. Let's go ahead and save it. Oh, let's make sure the saves are actually saving, because the other day I was playing for hours and I went to go reload a save, and turns out none of my quick saves had been working for the past like 2 hours. I was like, are you serious right now? So apparently that's another bug to look out for. Okay, we need to add more engines. Oh, hold on. Let's make sure we got everything else first. Sorry. I did want to try to get some control surfaces on here. So let's move these out of the way first. There we go. Okay. We're going to want to pick this engine up. Snap it right there. Pick it up a little bit just to give the landing gear. Actually, no, the landing gear. That'll cover that. Alright, cool. Let's go ahead and copy that assembly. Snap it. Learning. Just auto-save. If you heard that little bloop for no reason, it's actually auto-saving on its own now, which is nice. Okay, you know what? Can't do that. That'd be a little much. Landing legs obviously aren't going to work quite like this. That's not too bad. I think we can work with that. It's a good wide thingy-wobber. Let's throw a small stabilizer into the... let's throw an extra small stabilizer in, and we will make it bigger here in a second. Wingspan. Ooh, easy killer. Root length. Well, I think that's pretty good. We don't need the extra solar panels, though. That's just extra weight. But you know what? That's a big-ass battery on there. Let's see, I am going to put some lights on here so we can actually see it when we're on the dark side of everything. Alright, so we'll leave 8 solar panels on. I'm not quite ready for aero surfaces. We may do something absolutely insane here. What if I put decouplers here? Had 4 gigantic rockets underneath it. The docking port just stayed there for future need, and we could make an insanely big ass rocket. Yeah, I think we'll go with the big rocket thing. If you haven't seen, there is a poll going. Oh well, there's actually been. Looks like everybody probably voted. So we have red versus purple. So purple, that means we're going to crash into Eve and not be able to take off again. Because Eve's atmosphere, which Eve is the equivalent of Venus, you know, the girl thing. The atmosphere, just like Venus, is very thick and very heavy. So you literally have to take a full launch vehicle with you to get off of Venus. So you have to launch a launch vehicle, but in between your launch vehicle and that launch vehicle needs to be the interplanetary stage to get you from Kerbin to Eve. So you kind of have to build 3 ships in one to get there and to get back. So we'll just take this, and you know, it'll be a good test to see how hard this thing will slam into the atmosphere. And it's going to be good practice to get there. So our next destination will be we'll head to Eve. Hey, you know what? We don't have to crash there. We can always put a satellite, like, in orbit, and then leave Eve. Why don't we do that? We just won't land. Or actually, you know what? We'll land once. I'll save the game. We'll land once, just so you can kind of see it, because it's kind of cool down there. But then we'll go back, and we'll just orbit. We'll drop off some sort of satellite, which will be good, so it would give us fast forward access when we're trying to plan transfer windows. We can drop something into high-ass orbit and then come home. That'll be cool. Alright, sweet. And we'll do that on top of a completely oversized and ridiculous rocket. Now we're thinking. Alright. Let's see, what else do we need here? Payload. We don't need a cargo bay on this thing. I'm not worried about fairings, because the fairing for this would be ridiculous, which, I don't know, maybe we'll do something. Couplers. We're not putting couplers on this, so we should, because there will be couplers on it. This is going to be insane. Love it. So we're not even going to use the docking port on launch. Which means we should actually... What is that? I need to standardize my docking ports. I just thought of that. I kind of need to use the same docking port on everything so that everything's compatible. So I should probably use medium docking ports. I don't remember what size that was. I think it was a medium, just to make sure. Okay. What would a small look like? Because a small is going to be more like universal. I think I'll go with small docking ports. We'll try to use small docking ports on everything. I'm going to need... I want that to stick down just a little more. Just to make sure we have enough clearance. So let me see, we're on 4. Let me grab this entire assembly and pick it up a little bit. Let's go even there. No, not that much, okay. Because that puts it sitting underneath. Working with hydraulics and like on forklifts and shit, you can understand, since this level is lower than the gland nut, or the end of the cylinder tube, we'll call it. Obviously the legs aren't going to go past that, so that's your dead stop. So we should have anything down low not hang underneath that in case you do a full slam. It won't break off whatever's underneath you. That got weird. Okay, there we go. So let's put that right I don't think they're gonna. I'll do a full blast. All right, cool. All right, we're not having anything that's detaching from this will be that, so we will need a coupler up there once we know we have everything we need. The other thing, I'm not using the stack separators yet, or I've stopped because they seem, when they blow out, like they fling your vessels all over the place. And the physics, you add that with the physics bugs and you get lots of lost and broken spaceships. All this stuff, I don't really need anything here. Oh yeah, well I guess while we're here, let's go ahead and strut it up. We'll do a, guess we'll just do a cross. That should be pretty good. Do the same thing over here. Mirror it as best we can. Okay, so that was right here. That was here to here. That's pretty good. Okay. It's got power, it's got battery. We could use a little more mono propellant. I like to store it up here so that I always have it with me. So let's get a monoprop tank. Where are we at here? What does your medium look like? That's kind of big. How much is in there? Yeah, that's a decent amount. Alright. Put that there. And we got a decent amount of fuel. It's not the best, but it's alright. We got commands. I want to be able to remote control this. The bottom part. In case I need to send it on a rescue mission. So let's go, is that here? Oh no, that's in pods. Commands. Okay. Probe, medium. Actually, we can just do a small. Stick that up there, I think. Hold on. Let's go here. Let's pick up the chutes. Is that size? That is. Alright, so now we can remote control. Yeah, that should be able to remote control the whole vehicle from that. And that way, I can also remotely guide this in if I'm on a rescue mission and it's just this coming home. In case we have like incapacitated Kerbins or something. Oh wait, does this not couple? That may not couple. Oh, it doesn't. That's like a landing bay, or it's like you gotta store it in a cargo bay thermal thingy. Alright, well that's fine. Where's thermfire? Okay, so let's take that off. Put the regular one on. Fine. Use the same boring shit. Alright, and dink. I find if you put the coupler on the like, see how when that snaps, it doesn't cover up the thermal, but then when you click it, it does. For some reason, if I were to put that here and then bring that over, bring the whole thing over, it doesn't. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I guess that's just one of those things that they will be sorting out. Just got a notification. Oh, yeah, high wind warnings. Alright, so we're just about done with this, except for the fancy stuff. We got command, we got enough fuel, we might have enough engines. Okay, so let's slap this. Nope. Let's grab the entire vehicle. There we go. And we need to put something on top of here. What do we have for fuel options? There's our medium tanks. They don't just have a medium full nose cone. How big is this? Oh, good grief. Oh, you know what? God. Fine. That's weird. There we go. This will make the... Well, actually, I mean, I guess that actually works, considering there's going to be 4 big mother-Frenchin' rockets right under it. This is the most ridiculous lander. Oh boy. I don't think those legs... We may have to switch over to heavy legs. These legs may not be enough for it. You know what? That's just too much. I can't do it. I'm worried about just thruster-weight ratio at that point, it just being so heavy. Let's go with, what are those, smalls? Let's just do that. That's a lot lighter. It doesn't look quite as ridiculous. What does our engineering report say? We can kind of take off. Okay. 100 tons. Good grief. Well, you're going to build them big, I guess. Alright, let's save. It is 3 o'clock, so we will be ending shortly. We'll get a little bit of testing done for our Venus crash. Well, this seems to be handling it pretty well. The legs. What is our stage? Oh, our staging's all fucked up. Hold on. Let me go fix the staging. My fault. What about that? Doodle-doodle-doo. And I do have some benchmarks I've kind of recorded. Well, like noted. For when I put the new CPU in here. Like my current rocket, on my quote practice campaign, only gets 7 to 8 frames per second on launch. And that's very consistent. So we're going to I'm going to use that as my baseline for testing. Is going on here? So, what? Where's the oddball? So this doesn't. All right, that's okay. Good grief. Okay. Move this up here, this to here, engines first, engines fire. We're not even worried about the decoupler. That'll actually be, that'll actually be underneath. Well, but for launch, we just need to get them the hell out of the way. Not that one. Those. For launch testing, they just need to be the hell out of the way. Alright. So we have launch. And we can separate that just for kicks. I don't know why it does that. And then we can do a pop-a test shoot if we even get high enough. Alright, let's see, let's F5 that, save, and launch. Looks almost like a Venus base of operations, like you're planning on staying. Well, yeah, if we land, we're staying. This definitely does not have anywhere near enough for us to get away from Venus. Alright, let's see how this goes. SAS on. I'll just set it to straight up once we launch, because it won't hold until you actually launch. Alright, launching in now. vast amount. I'm wondering how it would do without those insane tanks on top, but we kind of need that fuel. I think this will do for most of our landings, unless it's something with a big or thick atmosphere. I don't know if this will work on Mars, but it might. Yeah, when you see the aerodynamic, I don't know what you call them, lines hit the wingtips, that means that the wings are finally taking effect. I think that's the visual signal that aerodynamics are working. So let's see if this is control where I think it is. Yes, it is. Control is set up correctly. Like orientation lines as opposed, to the windows. This has a decent amount of delta V. It's still going. It's just slow. So I kind of feel like that might be acceptable. And look, I'll hit the RCS. I'm helping. Let's get past 4,000. Let's get into the next level of atmosphere, and I'll turn RCS off just to see how it handles. What is that? Is that like 7,000? So I guess it varies per planet. Seems like that's about it. Alright, let's see how it does without RCS. Engines aren't freaking out too much. It's not too much wobble. Well, that's because of the wide-ass base of thrust. Oh, yeah, it's developing a little bit of a wobble. Like, we're at 10,000 feet. Like, we're going pretty far up there. Like I said, it's slow, but it's got a lot of fuel to get to where it wants to go. So I think that's a pretty good lander. Didn't think that through. Bye. And yeah, I separated. Not even thinking that I should. Oh yeah, we only have like a couple of Yeah, we actually don't have parachutes to land the big lander. I'm kind of okay with that. Just right now we're glued to it. Because I separated. Oh, this is fun. Okay. See if I can wiggle off. And I guess I could just switch to it. Oh, we need to. Alright, let's try something. Since I put a radio, did I put the radio on? Oh no, I put the radio on top. That's right. I cannot control that after we separate. Maybe I should put the controller on the bottom then. Because you figure, I guess, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Because if we're coming home, there's going to be somebody in there. I don't think they have unconscious Kerbins. So we'll have to move the remote unit to the bottom. Especially if something like this happens. We're not just stuck waiting to see what happens. Let's see if I can get the fluids in enough to get out before we plow into everything coming there. This is not looking good. These pump chutes, maybe that can drag me out. I think I popped the chutes too early. Yeah, we're boat. Oh, thanks. That's what a dick. Total dick move. Total dick move. Let's try that again, and then we'll sign off after another attempt. last thing we'll do after this quick test flight. I'm not going to take it all the way up this time. We know it'll go up high. I'll test the landing capabilities of it though. Take it up to about 5,000. Oh yeah, actually with no parachutes, maybe this might be interesting. Maybe I should put a few parachutes on this. Yeah, I guess especially if they're in the offhand chance they land like on Venus with this entire thing. But it doesn't matter if we land or stuck, but it would be nice to be able to salvage it. So we gotta move the radio lower, to the lower half, and then add chutes to this. We can probably just put 4 big chutes on top. That way that's not just an empty booster. Sorry, I was running my mouth and we went a little higher than I expected. Let's go pull up the parts manager for chute safety. I didn't even bother to look see how many parts are in this thing yet. We are safe to deploy. Oh yeah, I guess so. We're going, not actually moving much. Alright. So yeah, we'll just get 4 big chutes on top. And when we make it to Venus, we'll do that, like I said, we'll do that test drop. And we'll see how that goes. Because in most cases, once you get into Venus's atmosphere, all your Delta V, like you will have fuel, but there's so much atmosphere, like I don't know if it was a bug, but one of my landers landed there. It wouldn't even let me turn the engines on as I got closer to the ground because it just took away all the thrust. So I think it basically said we were not even going to bother wasting thrust to turn on, or that was just a weird bug. Should probably lower those engines a pinch. On the offhand chance I have to land on them and not the landing gear. Since we know landing gear likes to, you know, not always stay attached. Well, actually, no, I think I'd probably rather just hit a docking port if I have to bounce as opposed to the engines. I forget how many atmospheres Eve is. Is it like 2? I think Duna is 0.6 atmospheres. I want to see how hard this thing lands in 1 atmosphere. Specifically how low the feet go. As far as I know, auto suspension works, you know, pretty much most of the time, but sometimes you should really just go in there and make it just really hard suspension. Wow, that is falling fast. Like this will not survive. we go. Try to keep it under 10 meters per second falling. Alright. So that was fairly successful. Let's go back to the VAB, make a couple quick changes, and then we'll call it a stream. Sounds like Venus needs more of a space elevator, says Lockwatcher. Yeah, like, pretty much. Like, I've seen some of the contraptions YouTubers have made to get off of Eve, and I was like, oh yeah, I can get there, but I ain't landing anytime soon. Holy moly. Okay, let's see. Let's pop the top. Let's take this radio control off. And you know what? Is that the reaction wheel? We should put the reaction wheel lower. What is that? Oh, that's the. Oh, that's the. Like, huh? No, that's the heatsink. Okay, that's the coupler. That can go back there. This is mono propellant. Grab that. This is the reaction wheel, right? That is a battery. That can go there. This is the reaction wheel. The reaction wheel is the thing that helps you steer, yes. Okay, this is the torque wheel. Since we're going to have a radio control on it, the radio control also has torque. So we should have, instead of having two right on top of each other, we'll put this one down here. Let's move the antennas, oops, up to the fuel tank. Thank you for playing. Put this back down here. And go to 4. Snap is on. The struts are going to be a little, I guess the strut, yeah, hold on. Let's get rid of the struts because the struts bug out. And you move stuff while they're attached. Grab the whole assembly here. Lower it. Again. Snap it. Alright, so that's tucked up. So now we have a reaction wheel down there. We have a battery and a mono propellant tank. Now we'll add the remote control. Since it also has a reaction wheel, now we have one on top and bottom, and this thing, even as its unaerodynamic ass is flying through some thick-ass atmospheres, that will help control it. Now we have a coupler on there, and we just grab the whole thing, please. Thank you. I don't think we need anything else. Some of the struts oh, some of the struts never got taken off. Are all the old struts gone? Okay. Oh, the engines didn't lock into place in the right. There we go. Then we gotta reset the height again. Cool. Alright. Now we're gonna restrut it. Strut. What's up, Coach Seagal? Steven Seagal there has taught me much about this game. How do I do those? Third line on the tank and right against the blue. And yeah, okay. Right about there, that's good enough. That'll work. Alright. re-strutted. We got reaction wheel on the bottom now. We did kind of add some weights. That looks weird. Oh well, that's just going to have to be like that. We wanted to add parachutes, that's right. Add parachutes to the big mamma jamma. Just in case that thing has to land. Where's that? Utility. Alright. 4 decent shoots, and just for kicks, let's throw some radials on the outside. And let's go ahead and tuck those in. We are almost done, folks. Yoink. Now let's roll that a little bit, make it fit the curves. Oh, wait, what you doing? Back up here. There we go. Let's tuck that in a little bit more, shall we? Roll a little more. Well, this game is definitely made for OCD people. I'm not super OCD, but I do like shit to look even. That looks pretty good. Okay, so we got a bunch of chutes now. Going to have to situate a ladder in here in case we actually land. But I think we will do that next time, because I gotta pee. Or actually, you know what? I'll go pee. Well, I'm gonna end the stream. I'm gonna go pee and stuff. I'll throw a quick ladder in there. That can get very monotonous and boring to get it just right, especially if you're trying to get aerodynamic stuff going on. And then I'll show you the ladder before we take off next time. Or, well, we're going to continue building this insane thing. Just so you know, Coach Seagal, since you're joining late, this is another one of my ridiculously, holy shit, oversized landers. And instead of having a central rocket that the docking plate would attach to, I've decided that we will just have 4 big-ass rockets that will decouple this entire thing. Since we don't need this to really reattach to anything. But I want to start standardizing and adding small-size decouplers to stuff for future docking opportunities, refueling, making stations, shit like that. So, that's what we're going to do next week. We'll finish building this ungodly monstrosity. And, let's see, I should do control from here. That already should be set control from here, but let's make sure. Because that gets a little weird sometimes, too. No, it doesn't even have that. So, we're just good. Alright, let's go ahead and save. And, we'll do the big save. No, we'll do a big save now. That's a load. God, don't do that. We'll just save that here, and then I'll do, my next save off screen will just be with ladder after P. Alright, let's see, let's go over here and hit that button. Come back over here so we can get our ambiance. Click. Hey, alright. Alright, everybody. Good stream. Our first mission was our first successful mission. We went to the Mun. We came back with most of the ship. We battled the Kraken last time and this time, and we have defeated the Kraken. 1-0. See how that goes. Streaming live from the limo. Yes, yes. So I will give one more. We'll give a Skittles. What was it? Berry Skittles, something Skittles toast. Then I'm going to go pee, throw a ladder on this beast, and go move on with my day. I'll be on Big Clive Discord later on, probably. And this week I will install that i9 since it arrived early. And next week, hopefully, all this will be a little bit smoother. Maybe we'll get some more frames. So, cheers. Thank you for stopping by. Cheers to you. Cheers to everybody. And I will catch you all next week. Have a gravy rest of your weekend and a groovy week. And be cool. Let's see, there we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and